I'm going to explain a problem that millions of people have in America, but in my with my additions. So with my health declining in the last 6 years, I've had to take jobs closer to home with less transportation, like gas station jobs. I needed more money, so I tried to do like buyers associated, where we're just moving boxes onto a cart, but my body wasn't up to lifting all day, so I couldn't do that. Landscaping, another seasonal heavy lifting job. During summer, I do okay. Winter, no way. So, with that known, I'm a gas station attendant who now had to downsize because he's having health issue and COVID is now hit. Now, before COVID hit, the landlords were taking advantage and raising their rent as speedy as possible because his apartment was falling apart because he hasn't maintained it in the last 20 years. He's just been letting it rot, dumping stuff in the back, just total bullshit. He doesn't even have licensed maintenance. He doesn't even have anything complete. He says he's too sick and old to maintain his buildings, but he has hundreds and hundreds of tenants. Well, when COVID hit, all of our salaries stayed the same still to today. I haven't seen anybody making more than 50 cents to a dollar more than what they made in 2021 at gas stations, grocery stores. They go up by 50 cents. They got their normal amount. But yet, food, gasoline, and rent has all gone up. They've all started price gouging ridiculously. And they're about to raise the retirement age, cut benefits, cut money to the IRS, so the IRS is going to focus more on us and not the rich. So that means less money that the taxpayers are going to have, because the rich people are the one who really try to hide millions of dollars in taxes, not the poor guy at the bottom. So with all this going on, my landlord in particular has decided to really put the screws to price gouging. I came here at around, I think it was about 750, yeah, about 750, somewhere around there. I am now over $1,000. He went up to 1,950 in January. So in January he went up to 950. Now 2 months ago he wants to raise it to 1,000. That's two increases in about a 5 month period. He did the same thing last year. He increased by $50 in January and then $50 more in about the month before June. So I guess around May. Yeah, May. So he did that last year. So that's $100 more a month this year. That's $1,200 more a year. Meanwhile, my salary is getting smaller due to health issues, not getting any proper health care, and other people being allowed to take advantage of my body through my childhood. I did not ask for my mother to drug me. I never asked to be left on the floor during an overdose. I never asked for the doctors to drug the shit out of me with my mother. I never asked for my mother to lie about my health care. I never asked for my education to be neglected. None of these things was asked by me. I didn't ask the doctors to hold me down and give me three meds, double doses in the same hour. No, that was my roommate who wanted that by telling a lie. That's it. I had a bad roommate that was a storyteller. He wanted to make up a story to staff, and the staff decided they were going to hold me down and give me double doses. I never made those things happen. I didn't give myself PTSD. I didn't destroy my own organs. I didn't give myself a neurological disorder with an overdose at age 7. I didn't make the doctors make these choices in Massachusetts. It's funny. The doctors in Texas, they didn't find it necessary to hurt me. The doctors in New Mexico, there wasn't any. The doctors in Maine, there wasn't any. But the doctors in Massachusetts find it necessary to give me every drug in the book and continue switching out those pills like I'm their own goddamn little plaything just because my mother continue saying these exact phrases. My son needs more pills. My son needs more pills. We need to get him more pills. He needs this pill. He needs this pill. He needs this pill. He needs this pill. He has this. He has this. See this swimming medal? He stole this swimming medal. Yes, he's writing his name on everything they get back at me. He needs this pill and this. Just because I have a mother doing that year after year does not mean they should take advantage of my health. So, do I get the drive at 16, 18, 20, 22, 31? No, not until we get the neurological disorder under control, which no doctor has done at this time. Doctors won't even touch me with a 10-foot pole. With a mother like mine, and previous doctors like mine, and a father like mine. Now, if my father and family worked with me, yes, I could drive, work, and have a normal life. But my family doesn't want to take responsibility for what my mother did. She passed away. The Wicked Witch is dead is what the whole family said at her funeral, basically. And that's an analogy, but basically. So, does the landlord decide not to take advantage of this tough time? No, he sees his food bills going up, so he says, I'm going to rack it on to my lowest tenants that can't fight back. The tenants that have been waiting for a window for over 15 years with water coming into 3 of the apartments, 2 of them really bad. I'm going to let the mold continue to grow is what the landlord says. I'm going to not replace the lights in the hallway to save some money on electricity. And when the pipes break, I'm going to rack it on to the tenants. He even put a note on our door that any damage of the pipes will be billed to the tenant. And when I inspected and took pictures of the pipes, they are rusted beyond belief. Just rust everywhere. There's pictures of rust everywhere. These pipes are destroyed with rust all over. He needs new pipes and he needs new window framing. And he needs to take care of the bed bug situation as well. And that's luckily I don't have any in my living room. That's my cat making noises over there. It's a rescue from the hallway. There was a cat with a bunch of bugs and living in him like fleas from another building, living in the hallway. And I didn't want it to spread in the hallway, so I told the landlord after 3 to 4 months of this cat just wandering around the hallway, I ended up boxing it up and bringing it to the vet for a week. And then after it was all bug-free and healthy, then I just was like, where am I going to put it? I guess I'm watching it. But the landlord had almost spread a bunch of fleas through this building, too, with his neglect. I have pictures of a 20-foot mold spot, and when he finally got the pictures and looked at them after 6 years of me trying to get him to look at the outside of his building, all he does is spray off half of it and say, all problem fixed. And he only sprayed off half of it with a sandblaster as he goes to court so he can say I took care of the problem, even though you can clearly just take pictures of it. It just went from 20 foot to 10 foot. You can't let mold grow for 20 years and expect a sandblaster is going to take care of it. No, that's inside the walls, the frames. They even try to spray my window with the sandblaster. You can see the dullness from it and where they ripped up the foam and then they pretty much almost made a hole in the only thing keeping the water out of the wall. So, for all this damages that the landlord has been causing with neglect and the fact that I live in a studio when I'm paying for a 2-bedroom, he thinks that then means I should get a rent increase. And another rent increase, and another rent increase, and another rent increase because his food bills have gone up. None of our salaries have gone up. None of us can pay more rent. You've already gouged us to death. Now you've taken our full checks. Even if you're making $15 an hour with this many rent increases on this whole building, everybody's suffering, everybody's complaining, and we don't even get water half the time. We can't get water half the time. We can't get lights in the hallway for months on end. We got animals living in the hallway, and we got water damaging our own property, mold damaging our health. We got health hazards everywhere, and the landlord thinks price gouging us is a great idea, and he's going to get away with it because we live in a system where people with money who can afford an attorney can just destroy people, kill them, hurt them, and then they'll be dying in a shelter and in a hospital bed, and they'll blame it on them. Oh, you use drugs, that's why you got here. No, I'm sick. I've been sober for 8 years, blah, blah, blah. I'm living in this shelter sober. You want me to pee in a cup for you? Then get the fuck out of here, you asshole. Or my house burned down and I got my children in this fucking family. Get out of here, you damn drunk. Just because you want to fucking somebody's in a shelter. No, get out of here. You fucking drunks. Fucking all these drunks want to feel good about themselves, so they go to the shelter going, you must be an addict, and you must be an addict, and you must be an addict. When half those people never did a drug in their life. They're either disabled, or they just don't have enough money to survive, or somebody has taken advantage of them, or something like this landlord. They move into an apartment, they get their job, they're paying their bills, and then they find out they got mold problems, sick problems, bed bugs, big money, and the landlord basically just comes in, and then you try to work 60 hours, but still the landlord's going up and up and up, and no matter how many times you ask for a raise, you're only going up by $1 as everything else goes up by $2 here and $3 here, and your health goes down. Because don't forget, these landlords are allowed to get away with murder. Literally. I'm not saying that as a phrase. I mean literally, if a landlord wants to come into your house and murder you, as long as there's no camera, he can do it. And if he wants to let his building fall apart with black mold all in the piping, as long as he has money, and this is a low income apartment where there's people who can't afford an attorney living there, he will also get away with murder. Old people will move in, get heart conditions, breathing conditions, go on oxygen tanks, die. Then the landlord will move somebody else in. They'll get sick. Same thing will happen on a rotation. It's been happening with this building for years. Upstairs, horrible breathing, asthma attacks. Me, I got heart, all different types of stuff, and we got pictures of the mold. It's not like we're guessing here. When you get closer to it, you obviously get sicker, and if you close the windows, oh boy, in any of these places. And these 3 apartments here, you can clearly see it on the outside, inside, windows, everywhere. The rest of the building is small amounts, so they might not know what's going on with them, and the elderly are the ones that usually seem to get the symptoms first. Within 3 to 6 years, the elderly people are on oxygen tanks, breathing problems, heart problems, whatever, and they have to move out right away. They always feel these health issues. And all they have to do is go closer to it, and they get sicker. They open a window and get that mold spores out, they get better. Of course, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this shit out.